Hey, you podcast jiggers. How you doing? It's time for another uneventful episode of this stupid podcast. Pretty much talk about the week and do some stupid news puns. Every once in a while, some other stuff too. But as far as this week goes, I went back on my regular schedule. Yes, then we had a big snowstorm about 2 weeks ago. So this past Monday and Thursday, I went back to the gym and I got my Chipotle bowl, and folks, it felt good. Felt good to get my fat carcass back in the gym. Not that it matters, because my diet is still half poor, and I still eat crap and stuff, and I only work out twice a week. But still, it's better than nothing. So we did that, and then Tuesday I banged out 2 open mics in one night for the first time, and I can't remember. The last time I did 2 open mics in one night, but pretty much Tuesday night I went to this place called the Chest Dyer. I call it the Drum Circle Mic, and I got there a little early. The host just got there. I signed myself in the cookie, and pretty much we didn't go together, but we met there. And I went on first, and then pretty much my set was just okay. I could make the excuse to say there wasn't that many people in the room, but one of the jokes I did that had a good pop was the Home Alone joke. You guys saw I put the short up for that. That was probably the best pop I got of the night. I only did about 5 or 6 minutes. And I did my Kale character. It really didn't do as well as it usually does. And then I got off stage. And it was okay. It wasn't great. But pretty much there was another comedian there, Brandon, who comes to my open mic. He's a young black kid. He said, there's another open mic in the area called King's Quarter. It's 10 minutes away. You going to go? And I said, I don't know. We'll see. So we hung out for about an hour and a half, and then the cookie was like, do you want to go? And I said, well, I'd rather just get my Chipotle bowl and go. Because Monday night, I actually didn't get my Chipotle bowl. I forgot what happened. I think my stomach hurted or something. I got it. I was going to get it Tuesday. But I was like, I think I was going to get something to eat and go home. She was like, come on, let's check it out. If you don't like it, we'll leave. I was like, all right. So I followed her over. It was only 10 minutes away. It was this tiny little bar, literally on the corner, on King Street, hence King's Corner. So we went in there, and the bartender was like, oh, what's your names? And, oh, Josh and Risa. Josh and Risa? My name's Josh, and her name is Lisa. Oh, and they had a taco special. I got 3 tacos for $4 each. Chicken tacos. They were pretty good. A little zesty, a little spicy. Good amount of meat in there. And pretty much the host he was a pretty nice guy. He was like, oh, I love comedy, man. I said, yeah, I'm bringing a comedy friend in. We sat at the bar. We ate food at the other place. Well, I ate food at the other place, and I ate food again. I'm like, Jesus, I'm like a mob boss here. I can't afford this lifestyle. I'm eating like a fucking calzone here, folks. So I wolfed down my tacos, and then I did about 7 minutes at this place. I didn't do the Cal character, but I did some new stuff I was working on. I did a little bit of riffing, and I did a couple of jokes I did at the other open mic, and I did okay. There was only like 7 or 8 people at the bar. The staff didn't like me at all. They hated me. I was even filthy, by the way. And the cookie went up and did her thing. They, of course, liked her better than me. Fuck them. And then, that was that. So we did 2 open mics in one night. I got home around 11:30. It felt good, and that was that. Wednesday night, I think I just did some errands. I pretty much just went to Target to get some None of Your Business. I finally got my Chipotle bowl, and I just did some other stuff, and that was it. Wednesday night, I got home early and just rested. And then Friday night, I went to Parks to continue my losing streak. I had a $10 voucher from last week, and pretty much I put it in there, and I played for like 2 hours. I won some money, then lost some money. I went from like 10, and I think I ended at 5. But there was this band there called Frontier. There's the 360. They're like this Journey cover band. They were okay. And I watched them for like 2 hours, and it was freezing out Friday night. It was just starting. The storm was just starting. And as you guys know, we have a polar vortex. That's right. That's what the news media calls it. Another freaking freezing winter. It's in the freaking single digits. And that's why last night I did not go out. Last night I stayed in. And pretty much I didn't go out. I just put the heat on. I listened to some radio shows. I watched some videos on my phone, and I just fell asleep. I went to bed early. Then I woke up. I was up for a while. Then I went to bed again. And that was pretty much an exciting week. How did that happen? I did this podcast called MWAT, Monumental Waste of Time. Karen from Philly, who's a Philadelphia comedy legend. It's pretty much did her podcast last Sunday. I did 2.5 hours. They did a 6-hour podcast on this other comedian, Joe Matarese. It's like a kind of like a show where they talk about him and his comedy career and his life. They kind of admire him, but they kind of trash him as well. I don't know much about Joe Matarese, but we talked about the Philadelphia comedy days back when I started and some other stuff. I was surprised I was able to do it because, as you guys know, it's very loud here in the basement. People stomping around. But if you guys want to hear the podcast and you want to see me, pretty much you go to YouTube, type in MWOT, MWOT, and then space 45. And pretty much you can watch it there. And I don't know why you want to sit there and watch. I mean, I'm not saying you should have listened to the podcast. It was nice they had me on. They're the only podcast to ever had me on. No other comedy podcasts had me on. But folks, that's pretty much about it. I could get to the news, but I guess I'm going to have to look for some clips now because we're falling a little bit short here. Do a little bit of public freakout commentary, and then get to your least favorite segment. And with the power editing, I'm going to do that right now. And as far as what's on the channel next week, folks, there might be a prank call show. We'll see. But let's get to some public freakout commentary. I got 3 clips to get to. This is a kid. He must be a Josh Jack fan. It says, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." He announces outside that he has to take a shit. And then he starts screaming in the bathroom. There's no one in this restaurant. Let's play this.
Oh, I have to take a shit. It's coming out! It's coming out! It's coming! Get this thing out of me!
Now you see the 2 employees. They're walking around like, what the hell's going on? Is this kid's butthole possessed by zombies? And the kid comes out of the bathroom, and they're like, what the hell's that?
First, I'm going to call the cops.
My asshole just split open.
Okay, leave out.
So there you go, folks. The future of Josh Jack content. Except he did it much better. Props to him. This kid's going to go viral. I won't. This next clip, this is at a Wawa somewhere. It says, "Heads up to the local Asian community at Burwood." There's 2 little girls, I think, yelling at Asians. And they're yelling at them at the cashier. I don't know what they did, but they're just yelling, these 2 little whores. Let's get to this. So these 2 whores look like they're about 12, 13 years old. And obviously they were raised properly. So now this one of the whores throws a cart at the Asian woman. I'm sorry, this is a Target. I thought it was a Wawa. This is a Target. And she hit the bullseye. Hey-o. Oh, it's more of a visual, I guess. This last clip is server caught the act. This is a employee. I'm not sure which fast food place this is, but they recorded him at McDonald's. This is McDonald's, apparently. And he spits in the person's burger. He sees he's being recorded, and he decides to spit in the person's burger. Let's look at the comments first. It says, let me look directly at the camera before spitting in this burger," someone writes. "McDonald's is closed in Russia. They had some knockoff place calling McDonald's, home of the Big Mick. McDonald's closed but sold their company to establish Russia. I think it would be entertaining if he took a bite out of the sandwich. My manager at Taco Bell used to scratch aggressively between her ass cheeks, then stir people's drinks with the same finger. The amount of heinous stuff I saw working at food for years was fucking wild. If you're going to make a fake video, at least don't start recording like this. Make sure the guy doesn't look straight into the camera before spitting." So people say this video is fake. It looks real to me, but once again, with AI, who knows? Someone says, "This is why I make my own burgers, even if it's staged." But okay, let's play it now. We stalled long enough. So it shows it looks like a 17, 18-year-old kid. He's making a McShit burger. This might be Wendy's, actually. It doesn't look like McDonald's or Burger King, but so he sees the camera, he looks right at it, and he goes, But it looks like, I don't think he really spitted it, though. Maybe he didn't spit it, but it looks like he pretended to. And he put something with the burger. And, yeah, so anyways, that's not really good, that's not good audio, video, or audio for the podcast, but whatever. Folks, let's get to your, that was just stalling. Let's get to your least favorite segment. It's time to get to the odd news. Something supercharged Uranus when Voyager 2 blew past. Was it, Rick Moranis? From Honey, I Shrunk My Kids? I don't have a joke for that. A homeless man jailed after stealing 29 Lindt chocolate bunnies. Yeah, I guess he bit the head off that one. A viral Reddit post mocked this marine sandwich shop's prices. Now it's closed. I guess I got a little bit too high on that one. Viral Olympic shooter Yusuf Daikik wins gold in European Champions. Boxer loses his hairpiece in the ring and blames his mother's shampoo. I think this guy needs to start using his head on that one. Police warn unicyclists to stop juggling fire intersection. The mid-act was quite good. Juggling fire, I guess, I don't have a joke. Rep Nancy Mace made AIDS up her Reddit Who's Hotter post. Former staff alleged. Nancy Mace. Well, I hope she's not blind to anybody out there. Oh boy. Florida cold snap creativity leads to iguana pizza and tacos. Iguana pizza. This is Wisconsin man committed murder, but then he finished his taxes before he turned himself in. Well, they always says death before taxes. There you go. That wasn't bad. Fishermen fleeing elephants killed by crocodile in Zambia. Pretty much. Yeah, he was killed by a crocodile. I guess. I don't know. Listen, you do a podcast and you see how easy it is. Local bar owner forced to eat Wendy's chili for 1 month. You guys remember in the last episode, somebody admitted that they poop into Wendy's chili, so he's eating shit pretty much. Olympic sky jumpers are apparently injected acid into their penises, and I guess that's why they're so toxic. Winter Olympics hit by Okay, woman in Shanghai caused multiple accidents after adjusting traffic mirrors for better feng shui. New Jersey man called the cops to brag about escaping a police chase. It didn't end well for him. So I guess he was all caught up. Well, Japanese city cancels a cherry blossom festival after badly behaved tourists. Cherry blossom. I guess there was a stem in that one. Dallas hires 300 goats to clean up White Rock Lake. Yeah, I guess they could eat up all the trash. Only one decent joke so far. I suck. Parago's conservatives back left-wing candidate to avoid a far-right president. Man arrested on federal charge linked to a stolen Auburn plane was flying high on meth. I think I read that possible. As a Frenchman hospitalized was inserted a World War I munition up his ear. Do you guys hear that one? Wild turkeys chased down a postal turkey and attacked residents. Yeah, I bet afterwards they were stuffed. That was alright. Woman gets locked inside a Pennsylvania car wash. Well, at least she was keeping it clean. This was terrible. ICE claims that immigrant shattered skull run into wall. They didn't beat him up. All this ICE talk is making me thirsty. The unlikely looter, New York mascot in China. Man breaks into a Little Caesars and starts making and selling pizzas. Beep beep. PETA slams stupid Sabrina Carpenter over live bird stunt. Is there anything else? Let's check out one more news site before we end this fiasco of a podcast. Cheese lover addicted to cheddar spent over 60,000 euros and ate 2 blocks a day. 2 blocks of cheese. This guy's really going the distance. Famous but deadly kite after a 19-year ban. National Fart Day. Celebrity responsibility. Male cook died in Olive Garden horror. He died in Olive Garden horror. At least he got the unlimited breadsticks. Frenchman arrived in the emergency room. Okay, I read that. I think that's it. Well, folks, that's it for the show. I'll see you folks on the next one you just listened to, and we're out of here. Go freak yourself, Cuffy.